No excuse, Broncos country. This upcoming game for the Denver Broncos against the Cincinnati Bengals should be nothing short of a blowout. The Broncos should be 3-0 right now, but due to some late game poor execution in their last two games, they're sitting at 1-2. They're pissed off about that. Those two losses are eating at the Broncos, from coaches to players to even the training staff. Everybody's pissed off, and they want to go out there and show why they were given such hype heading into the season and why they should still be viewed as playoff contenders, if not Super Bowl contenders. The next opponent that they face is the Cincinnati Bengals, a team who is without their franchise quarterback in Joe Burrow, who keeps the entire thing together. Without Burrow, this Bengals team is amongst the worst in the NFL. The only matchup that concerns me for the Denver Broncos in this game is Jamar Chase and T. Higgins against our DBs. But what neutralizes that is they don't have a quarterback who can effectively get them the ball. In these past two games, Jake Browning has been terrible. He's been the worst quarterback in the league these past two games. There's no reason why the Denver Broncos shouldn't take advantage of that. And I want to go ahead and bring in this composite here from Patent Analytics on Twitter because there's a big mismatch here that I think the Denver Broncos can take advantage of. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Garrett Bowles and Mike McGlinchey. This composite is time to pressure and pressure rate for offensive tackles. Both Bowles and McGlinchey are on the good side of this metric. In fact, Bowles has one of the best pressure rates allowed. He's not allowing any pressure whatsoever. Barely any. It's ridiculous. And Mike McGlinchey is right there with him. And their average time to pressure is also really, really good. So both Bowles and McGlinchey are playing amongst the top tackles in the league. But that's not what I want to focus on here. I want to focus on Orlando Brown Jr., the Cincinnati Bengals left tackle. He literally has the lowest average time to pressure and the highest pressure rate allowed amongst offensive tackles this year with at least 100 pass protection snaps. That screams mismatch nightmare for the Bengals. Nick Bonito is predominantly going to be rushing against that side, and Bonito is towards the top of the league in pressures this year. Ooh, man, I bet Nick is licking his chops right now. On the other side, Amarius Mims is certainly better. He's got a much lower pressure rate allowed, and his average time to pressure is only slightly below average. So, Mims is certainly a lot more competent than Orlando Brown. Brown's a longtime veteran in this league, former Raven, former Chief. The fact that he's playing this poorly is alarming for the Bengals. And it's good news for the Broncos as well because Jake Browning has played some of his worst football when he's been under pressure. Under pressure, Jake Browning has gone 10 for 23 through the air for 96 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4 interceptions. 3 of those interceptions being his fault because they went as turnover-worthy plays. No big-time throws to speak of under pressure. So, Jake Browning is a guy who definitely crumbles when you've got guys breathing down his neck. Both Justin Herbert and Daniel Jones did a really good job of mitigating the pressure in the Chargers and Colts games. They were able to get the ball out quick. They were able to make subtle movements in the pocket. They were able to stand in there and take hits. Jake Browning hasn't displayed any of that in his 2 games that he's played this year. He played a lot better for Cincinnati in 2023, but I'd argue he had a better supporting cast around him in 2023. He's got weapons, certainly, but he's also got one of the worst offensive lines in football, and he just hasn't performed well under pressure. So I think this is an area where the Denver Broncos could be licking their chops a little bit, and I think Nick Bonito in particular could be in line for a really, really massive day. So hopefully Jake Browning is able to continue to show these struggles under pressure, and the Broncos should be playing this game like they want to get Browning benched. Browning was horrible last week up in Minnesota, and if he continues to showcase this bad performance, the Bengals might not have a choice but to turn to the Broncos' old friend Brett Rippon. That would be insane if Brett Rippon came into this game. I actually think Brett Rippon would do a much better job mitigating the pressure than Jake Browning. That's something that Rippon showed he could do at a pretty high level here in Denver. He's bounced around the league ever since, but he's now the direct backup to Jake Browning. So in the event that Browning doesn't play well, or if he gets hurt, which obviously I don't want to see that happen, but it would be kind of fun if this Broncos defense played so well that they got the opposing quarterback benched. So I'm looking for that in this game. Can the Denver Broncos maybe force Jake Browning to play so poorly that he gets benched? Now, on the other side of the ball, we'll talk about that in another video. I think that this Denver Broncos offense has a chance to put up some points against this Bengals defense that has really been struggling in its own right. The only talent that they really have on that side of the ball is Trey Hendrickson, but again, that's its own video. I think the Broncos have got a really good matchup here against Jake Browning. I'd view this game completely different if Joe Burrow were playing. But the Broncos got lucky because Joe Burrow is not playing in this game. He's probably not going to play for the rest of the season because I don't see the Bengals salvaging things. I don't see them making the playoffs this year. If the Broncos can't beat the Bengals, or if they barely beat them a la Week 1 against the Tennessee Titans, we've got serious concerns moving forward. I think we can officially kiss playoffs goodbye if the Denver Broncos don't win this game. But everything is set up for them to not only win this game, but quite frankly dominate this game. So that's how I see things right now. I think the Denver Broncos don't have any excuses. They should dominate this game. They should lead by multiple scores. Hell, at the end, in the fourth quarter, they should be pulling starters out. That's how big of a domination this should be. I think the Denver Broncos have a better matchup on both sides of the ball. I think the Cincinnati Bengals are circling the drain right now, and the Denver Broncos need to take advantage of it if they are going to be a legitimate threat in the AFC. Alright guys, be sure to leave a like on this video as well, subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it guys. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support, helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. Additionally, if you guys want to go above and beyond supporting the channel, please consider becoming a channel member today. I would really appreciate it. The link is in the description below. It's not mandatory, but if you want some extra perks and incentives in exchange for helping me out and helping the channel grow, again, I would really appreciate it. The link is in the description below. And until next time, Broncos country, I am your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.